Hey everyone, it's me, Noah Meehan, the Arc of Truth, on Saturday, July 14th of 2024, and I'm currently in Pennsylvania, more specifically, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. I actually just arrived in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania yesterday with my sister, and we were going to go and see my Nana, who has turned 90 today, when Donald Trump was nearly assassinated. I was literally in the Uber when I got the news, going to see my father near Independence Hall, and that's when I heard the news that Donald Trump was nearly shot. Thankfully, he's not seriously injured. It only grazed his ear. That being said, though, he came very, very close to actually being killed. And already there's been confirmed one person to have died during the assassination attempt, and at least maybe one or two people injured. I also want to say that the shooter himself was also taken out by the Secret Service, and that Donald Trump, of course, he survived, but he's also going to have to get his ear stitched up. All this while I'm in the same state as him. He was in the other side of the state in Butler. I'm in Philadelphia. Holy crap, I did not even expect this to happen. I thought this would just be a regular, normal boarding time. But in all honesty, I should not be surprised, especially considering, and yes, I am going to blame the mainstream media and the left for inciting this kind of shit. I even blame people like Harry Sisson. Although, to be fair to Harry Sisson, on X, he did mention that he disavows political violence and does not think that we should use violence as a means to prevent Donald Trump from getting into office. I'm only paraphrasing, but that's you can just look at his tweets if you wanted to check that out. I do not. But it's clear that these kind of attacks, incitement to violence are coming from the left. All because of people comparing Donald Trump to Adolf Hitler, saying that he's going to be a dictator, he wants to kill people, he's a racist, sexist, homophobe, and so are his supporters, and yada, 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 yada. People like Rachel Maddow and Joy Reid have been the ones who have been pushing it. And who have been the ones who have been hearing this? The far left. And these people claim that they are fighting for democracy. You cannot claim to me that you're fighting for democracy when you're intentionally wanting to kill a major political rival, especially when said political rival is beating you in the polls. That makes no sense. And by the way, we're not a democracy, we're a republic. But you know what? At this very point in time, that really doesn't matter. What does matter is that the far left has not only been incentivized into violence, they have actually committed violence. And this is not the first time either. Hell, this isn't even the first time that Donald Trump was attempted an assassination. Back in 2016, he was in the rally, and apparently there was an illegal immigrant from Britain who had mental problems, tried to take a pistol from a police officer at the rally in order to shoot him. And that was before he became president. And now we have someone that actually came very, very close. For anyone who's an independent or a more open-minded liberal, and what I mean by that is someone who's willing to at least hear the other side of the opposite aisle. How can anyone tell me that Donald Trump is... How can you how can people justify doing this? What Donald Trump has been going through with political persecution, how there have been constant investigations against him, how there have been at least 2 impeachments so far. I would not be surprised if there's going to be a 3rd or 4th in his possible second term, which, let's be honest, it's more than likely, even before the assassination attempt, that he's going to be reelected. But now it's like 95% guaranteed. But oh my God, this is how can anyone justify the use of impeachments, the use of indictments from the justice system, and even violence in order to somehow save democracy? Honestly, you can't. You cannot. I want everyone to understand here. Political violence is a bad thing. In all honesty, you should only use violence as the last resort. Even then, only as a means of self-defense. This was not one of those cases. And the fact that an innocent bystander was dead as a result of this, and nearly Donald Trump was as well, and 2 other people in the rally were also shot. Oh my God, it just... This needs to be called out. This really needs to be called out from people like... We need people to call out Rachel Maddow and Joy Reid, who've been actively pushing this kind of incitements to violence. We need to call out politicians who have either been silent on their own side with political violence, or have actually gone to support it. And you can't tell me that the other side, the left, especially the Democrats, have been against violence. Because if that were the case, many of them would either have called out their side during the 2020 George Floyd riots, or even better yet, they wouldn't have called it the Summer of Love. You cannot tell me that they knew something like this could potentially happen. It's insanity. It really, really is insanity, and this needs to be called out. Again, Joy Reid, Rachel Maddow, many Democratic congressmen, and even Joe Biden, who's actually called MAGA Republicans, as well as Donald Trump, extremists and a threat to democracy. That's what they have said, and they need to be called out for it. They may not have been the ones to attempt to assassinate Donald Trump, but it's not. But their language, but what they said, actively encouraged people to do such a thing. They indirectly created this political violence, both indirectly and directly created this political environment, where now political violence here in the United States is the major norm. I know that my mother lived during the time of Ronald Reagan, and everyone, both Democrats and Republicans, were shocked that some mentally deranged person shot the President of the United States. And even there was a point in time where Ronald Reagan actually joked to a doctor, "I hope you're a Republican." What did the doctor say? "Mr. President, we are all Republicans today." But now that's not really the case, and I definitely 100% blame the mainstream media on this. I blame Congress and many of the Democratic politicians who have either done nothing to denounce the violence, who have or have been actively encouraging it. It needs to stop. And I would like to say so many things about the Secret Service and its handling about what happened during Donald Trump's during the assassination attempt. Because there's definitely so many problems. Like, the fact that the shooter was spotted minutes before he even took the shots, and the fact that the Secret Service did not cover the roof of the building where the shooter was at. Maybe I'll make another video, but right now, I shouldn't be surprised, but I'm at minimum flabbergasted and angry that we have gone this far in our political process. If we are truly a democracy as the left has said, when in reality we are a republic, we should be following the laws of said democracy or republic. Well, in reality, it's a republic, but we should be following the we should be following the laws. We should be doing our damnedest not to break those laws and to actually beat our political opponents in the election. We do not go on to try to destroy them by either persecuting them, especially through the justice system, trying to assassinate them, or trying to cheat. That is something that we need to stop. And with this apparent attempt on Donald Trump's life, I think it's more clear than ever that we need to fix this as a country. My name is Noah Meehan, The Art of Truth. Please post your comments down below, or directly message me, or whatever. Thank you.